Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Jamin's Daily, episode number 26. Today, we got a lot of juicy details to go over. It's been a while, folks. It's busy all week, but I'm hoping over the next 7 days we can put out 7 episodes. That is the goal. Probably won't hit it, but if we do 5, I'll be happy. But let's get into the fact that we have some louder background music, because I try to put some background music in when I did the HRH, the humanoids are human, because I'm gonna write a novel, and as I was reading that, I put a little bit of background music, but I couldn't hear it when it was too low. I don't think anybody could hear it. If I'm wrong, let me know. But so today I would like to incorporate some music, I'm thinking. So today I got a song in the background. It's a little louder, and we're going to find out if it works out. But let's get into COVID. It seems like, unfortunately, folks at home, since we started this podcast, we have been on lockdown, coronavirus style, reopenings, closings, reopenings, the whole 9 yards when it comes to COVID. And now Donald Trump has COVID at this very moment. It's been a couple days, and I don't want to get into all the politics about COVID and Donald Trump having COVID, but I want to look at this in another way that I found interesting. Because ever since he's had COVID, you watch the news, they're attacking it from every angle. But this one angle I found interesting was Donald Trump's, the president's doctor comes out. And he comes out, and there's like half a dozen other doctors behind him. But he talks, and he says some things. He says this and that. So he's giving us an update on the president's well-being, I guess, right? And so as soon as that's over, it gets scrutinized, what he did say, what he didn't say. They find out later, things get leaked that he didn't say that, and this is what I'm curious to know, is that there's such thing as HIPAA law. You just can't go out and tell people what the information about patients. It's literally a law. You can't do that. Okay? So if Donald Trump was like, listen, tell them this, give them good news, give them stuff to be upbeat about, which is the way he is, then the doctor has to do that. Right? Am I wrong? I don't think the doctor can just decide, hey, the country needs to know this, so I'm just going to tell them anyways. I don't think he could do that. So, do you, do I, does everybody else? It's just so soon. It would have been different if days late. It's been a little bit longer in the diagnosis. They've been saying how it's really like day 7 through 10 where it's really bad. And I guess people really go south and die. I wasn't expecting Trump, if he did, the odds are low. But even if he did die, I wasn't expecting him to die like over the weekend or a Monday, right? So they try to make it seem like he was going to take this huge nosedive south and like die tomorrow. So what did they think the doctor was going to say today and yesterday? He's doing good, he's doing better, he's doing that. That's what Trump told him to say, and he's the patient. The doctor can't just then say spill all the beans. I think there's literally a law against that. So folks, let me know. Could be wrong. Never claim to have all the facts here on Jamin's Daily, but what we do have is an opinion. Moving on, still with COVID, but we're going to transition to a different camera angle, folks, because again, we're trying to improve. And normally I use the separate camera when we have a guest, but I'm thinking, well, why not just, because I've been having some issues with with my Mac, where I've been doing the video, and like 15-20 minutes in, it freezes and I lose it all. Super frustrating. So now I'm just using OBS, different recording. I can use using still the recording through the Mac, but not through iMovie. where I think the problem really lies. So we're using OBS, and now we got multiple camera angles. Ooh, look at that sexy guy. Folks at home, when you're listening just to the audio, you're missing out on so much. 90% of this show is the video. You gotta watch. Which leads me into the fact that we're gonna start a YouTube channel once we hit 50 episodes. I've been saying that. I've been tempted to cut it down to fewer. Be like, oh, let's just start the YouTube channel at 30, which means we could start it next week. But no, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I'm gonna wait till 50 episodes. But when I think it was it Friday night, I'm trying to look up information on COVID, the statistics. I'm just looking up statistics because I'm thinking, man, is Trump gonna die, right? So I'm looking up statistics. He's 74. He's fat. But I was dumbfounded, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm on Google. I'm using Google to search the internet, and I cannot find just straight up simple statistics in percentages. So they could take, okay, people between the age of 70 and 80, let's say 1 million of these people in that age group have had corona, and then of those million, how many died? And then you can give me a percentage, the survival rate, right? Because that's what I was really looking for. I don't want to know how many people died. I want to know what was the percent, like the likelihood, a percentage of somebody at 74 getting COVID and then surviving. Could not find that, which is bizarre, because on the internet you should be able to find almost anything if you look hard enough. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but you would find something that would be at least alleging to have the information. Whether or not it's true or not, then you gotta, verify it yourself. But I couldn't find. All I could find were raw numbers. Like, this is how many people in this age. Just raw numbers. Nobody has broken it down, at least that ranks on Google. I'm sure there has been, but they're shadow banning. They're only showing you what you want to see. This leads me to my next point. Ben Shapiro has been talking about this because lots of people. Let me start this off by saying, listen, lots of people have died from COVID. It's terrible. Lots of the people who have died are older. You look at the data. But what the politicians say, which they always have to say, any nice person says, look, it's sad. One person's too many, right? But let's get real. Whenever you're trying to spin something, whenever you're trying to, you have your own narrative you're trying to keep. And if the narrative is lots of people are dying and you could die, they're not going to tell you the survival rate. They're just going to constantly tell you how many people are dying. More and more. So the graphic that you see on CNN and MSNBC is 200,000 people dead, 300,000 people dead. Okay? And 7 million people infected, 8 million people infected. But what they never put on the the little ticker on the bottom, what they never really highlight is 99% survival rate, 99.6% survival rate. They could push that narrative too to make people feel better, but it's always so many people dying, which is true either way. But the way people have been putting it is that, listen, you could spin that for all these other things, whether they're car accidents, suicides, drug overdoses. Whenever you're dealing with large numbers, like, these things happen a lot. It's because there's millions of people. So these are large numbers. So even a small percentage equals out to a large number. And so if you just tell people the large number, it's alarming because people are only getting that small piece of information. There could be 1 million people could die from COVID in China, but they have 1 billion people there. So that means like 99% survival rate or something. So I want y'all to think about that, folks at home. Maybe I'm way off base, but it seems to me, and I felt like I was when I was searching for just that percentage and I couldn't find it. That's what was coming across my mind, is that, you know what, they don't want you to know the survival rate. They just want you to know how many people have it, which I found to be odd. But sticking with coronavirus, I watched South Park had a COVID special episode, hour-long special episode. They haven't had an hour-long episode in quite a while. You know, and South Park takes me back to my childhood. You know, South Park became popular when I was a teenager, 20 years ago or longer. So much so, I remember when this was in the year 2000, I was 17. I think I wasn't even 17 yet. That summer, the original South Park movie came out, and it was rated R. So my dad took me. I wanted to go see it, so I convinced him to take me. And when the movie was over, my dad at that time was probably 50s, in his 50s, had no idea what South Park was. And when we got out of the movie, he was like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. He just could not relate. Okay, but South Park COVID special, and the funniest thing, it gets into all. You can watch a YouTube influencer, some content creator who could give their take on this for 15 minutes and do a better job. What I want to, out of the whole hour episode, the funniest thing that they talk about, which we have mentioned here on Jamin's Daily, is the mask. Okay, wearing masks, and you can imagine they're poking fun of wearing masks, but how people wear them incorrectly. I thought they should have gone with the face shield and neck girders, how they don't even work well, proven not to work. But the funnier thing was what they called, so when people wear their mask and they pull it down and it's only there on your chin, kind of, South Park was referring to that as a chin diaper. Chin diapers. Oh, can I just wear my chin diaper? Because they have it just around their chin and their mouth, a little on their chin. A chin diaper. That was an original. I had not heard that before, so I'm going to use that. And whenever I see people wearing it that way, that's what I'm going to think of. A diaper. Someone has a diaper on for their chin. It's hilarious. Especially since we've been talking about how people don't wear it right. People don't wear their mask right half the time. I went to HEB an hour ago, and I counted half a dozen, maybe 10 people wearing. I could see their nose. If I could see your nose, that means you're not wearing it right. Right? I never wear, because I wear an N95 thing. I don't wear a mask. I wear the N95. It just fits right. It just fits right over your face. You can't pull it down like that without it. No, it's not comfortable like that. And so I always wear it over my nose. I don't have a hard time breathing with it on. I guess that's why some people don't like to wear it. They wear it like a chin diaper so that they can breathe better. But South Park did an amazing job finding a funny way to describe the way that looks. And yes, folks, it looks like you're wearing a diaper for your chin. Lastly, our last little topic on COVID. College football. So people can go to the games, but you got to social distance, all these different rules. Well, SMU, Southern Methodist University, had a football game, a home game, and they have a student section. And apparently the students were not basically following the rules, and they were not properly social distancing or wearing their masks. And at halftime, the whole student section was ejected or escorted out of the game. They got kicked out. Can you imagine being one of these students there? I can't imagine. The security comes up. Y'all gotta go, guys. Get out of here. Let's go. Come on. We gotta go. I'm surprised. I'm sure somebody got arrested fighting it. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody got arrested. Some kid, probably drunk, fighting it. I paid for this ticket. You can't. No, they got ejected. But that's where we're at in October 2020. Kids, young adults getting kicked out of football games for being a fan, for being just a little bit too close to each other. It's insane. We're going to take a break, folks. That wraps up our first segment. COVID. It's in the news, not going away. It's fun. It's not funny. It's tragic. And what's strange about it is it's been part of this podcast since we started, because I think our first episode was in May. So we were already in the pandemic. So I'm hoping we'll be able to do the vaccine or the COVID is gone episode one of these days, folks. It's coming. But until then, don't forget that this podcast is brought to you by Sage Choice Insurance Agency. We do auto and homeowners is our specialty. We want to work with realtors and loan originators who are always looking to find the best rates and professionalism for their clients. We help you all the way until closing. We're there, turnkey. You can reach us at 361-400-2411. Folks at home, if your mortgage is escrowed and it's coming up for renewal, sometimes you don't even look at it. It just gets paid. Big mistake. Look it up. Give us a call. Go to quotefromjamin.com. Fill out some information. We'll send you a quote. It could be, you could save hundreds of dollars. Not making this up. So give us a call. 361-400-2411. Sage Choice Insurance. Full service independent agency. When we get back, folks, we're going to go to TMZ, and they had a poll. They had some polls, some online internet polls, right? So they're super accurate. And I wanted to go over that with you. So until then, stick with us. We're back from the break, folks. Jamin's Daily, episode 26. Thanks for tuning in, watching us on your phone or computer. But we're going to get into some of these TMZ internet polls. And there were a couple of questions posed to, I guess, the netizens who are on TMZ. But the one that I found to be hilarious and sad at the same time was one of the questions. So they're talking about did Donald Trump, will Donald Trump, will more people be sorry for him or say he deserved it? So that was one, right? And so obviously it was like 67% said he deserved it. Same for Melania. There was a question about will this help him in the polls? You know, all these different questions. And then finally, and so they're all, you know, not going Trump's way. Okay. But then the last one of the questions was better place to live. And there were two options. Okay. This is an internet poll. Better place to live. The options were the USA and Canada. Canada, USA. And 64% said Canada. So, how ridiculous is that? Do people realize how cold it is in Canada? I don't think they do. I think people have like this vision of Canada in their mind, and they don't realize how cold it is. You don't want to spend a winter anywhere in Canada. I can't imagine there's anywhere in Canada where it doesn't snow and get super cold. Your car freezes. The windshield has ice on it. You can't walk down the sidewalk without slipping. You got to shovel snow. These people are crazy. This goes to show you, this is the sad part about this. So that was what's funny, is that people want to live in Canada over the US. And then what's sad is, it's really just this anti-American, anti-US, blame America first kind of mentality that is, you know, very prevalent in our culture now. It's like cool. It's cool to think that you'd rather live in Canada. You know what? I wish people should leave. Go to Canada. Really. You won't be, you know, we're not going to miss you. Canada Canadians, that's the funny thing, that Canadians don't want you. Okay, Canadians don't want Americans to move to Canada. Okay, trust me, you will not like it. You think you're gonna move to Canada and they're all gonna be like open arms? No, lots of Americans start going to Canada, they're gonna be pissed. They're not gonna like you. You're not gonna be treated well. Okay, so I think you got another thing coming. But yeah, leave. I don't get that. It just sounds. The other thing too about Canada is that Canada, all the places of population where people really live in Canada, are like a stone throw away from the U.S. Okay, it's not up north. You start to get up to the Arctic. Okay, you're gonna see caribou and penguins or some crap like that. You know, like igloos. All right, they all live right next to the U.S. Anyways. We could all just annex. We could go like 100 miles north and like annex 90% of the population of Canada. Anyways, moving on. Let's segue to the election. And Kylie Jenner. So I see on the internet where the other day Kylie Jenner just puts up one of her mini clickbait photos of her half naked. But this time there was even a better purpose other than just hawking some kind of product to make money. So this time she says, go here, on her hashtag and links, whatever on the social media. They send people to somewhere where they can register to vote. And she's like, you have to vote. So important, guys. Okay. Well, the internet says that lots of people did. She has this huge following, tens of millions, if not 100 million followers. So if there was only a couple million, a small percentage of them went to this website and registered to vote. And register to vote is great. A small percentage of all those people who registered to vote, I guarantee you, will end up voting. It will be in the single digits. That's just an opinion of mine. I have no idea. This is unscientific. This is shot in the dark. But of all those people who signed up, I guarantee a small percentage actually then go and vote. But even then, this is where, because I remember being young and impressionable, and here in thinking that celebrities' opinion on politics meant anything. Okay. And as I gotten older, yes, you start to become more mature with experience. But when you're between 18, when you can vote, and let's say 25, you're very susceptible to the media and celebrities' endorsements. Like, well, you want to be cool. You just want to be cool. The Rock has told us he's going to vote for Biden. How many people who have no idea about any of the issues or anything, they're going to be thinking, well, if The Rock's going to vote for Biden, that means he's got to be, good. I'll vote for Biden too. This is not what people fought and died for. Okay, I get it. Everyone should vote. But there's this crazy narrative that's going out there that it's just like, vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for, just vote. So be an ignorant voter and just vote for anybody. And that's not helping anybody. That's not what democracy is about. Okay, you have to be an informed voter. But there's all the propaganda now is just go and vote. Just go and vote. Doesn't matter who you vote for, just vote. That's what's most important. And when I see Kylie Jenner registering millions of people to vote, and then I see The Rock endorsing somebody for the first time. He was, I guarantee you, and this is not even on my show prep, but I'm going to segue because this got me thinking. But I guarantee you, The Rock was under intense pressure to endorse Biden. All the operatives, the Democratic operatives, the highly all the social justice warriors, people like, just all the celebrities who were heavily involved in politics are like, Dwayne, you gotta do this. People listen to you. Think about how many people will vote for Biden just because The Rock is gonna vote for Biden. And they it's an underhanded threat. He knows, he's no dummy. He knows that if he doesn't, he's gonna get blasted, because what's going on is, unfortunately, the current atmosphere is turning everything into politics. Everything is political now. And this was something that Jeremy from the Quarterling was talking about. He's on YouTube. I'm subscribed and I watch daily. And he was going over this article, long form article on the internet, talking about how influencers and celebrity, you can no longer be apolitical. You can no longer be famous and be good at something and not get into politics. And for a long time, many people didn't want to. You know, if you're a great actor or a comedian or an amazing athlete, you may not give a rat's ass about politics and just don't pay attention much at all. And hey, it's a free country. That's good for you, right? And so when people ask you your opinion on these things, most people who are intelligent will be like, well, listen, I don't really keep up with that. I don't know, so I don't really want to talk about it. But now you have to, is what is being said. And I know that The Rock was you can't convince me that The Rock just decided all of a sudden now to endorse somebody. Guarantee he was pressured into doing this. Because nowadays, and this is not good. This is not a good, this is not where society, we're not evolving. We are devolving this way. Because everything cannot be politics. Everything cannot be political. I don't want to know every celebrity's, political philosophy. Okay? I don't. And so when you have, and what's going on is, picture this, folks at home, picture this. You're some mildly famous YouTube person who has an audience, and you do this, you do your thing, it's all good, and then all of a sudden the Twitter brigade starts sending you tweets, or they're posting on your YouTube channel about, so hey, what's your position on the campaign? Do you think you gonna vote for Biden? Are you gonna vote for Trump? Or hey, what do you think about abortion? What the heck? And what's going on is, if you just stay silent, and if now what they're saying is, if you don't give your opinion, like, hey, what's your opinion on the Supreme Court? Amy Coney Barrett, do you think they should nominate her? And this guy's like, dude, I do a YouTube channel. Most of my audience are between the ages of 14 and 20. They don't know or care about my political affiliations, but they get pressured into now. Long form articles on their internet are telling them that no, you have to be political. You can't stay silent. And they use this word now. They weaponize. I hate using that word, but that's what's going on. So they weaponize the word silent or silence now. So like they're trying to say, oh, if you're silent on it, or if you don't speak up, somehow now you're part of the problem, right? You're part of the problem for not speaking up. And I'm like, dude, I'm famous for being a great athlete, and I'm not really in tune with these things. Don't ask me. Oh, now you're something. They label, adjective, label. Okay, you can just fill them in, all negative. That's what you are now, because you don't want to get involved. You have to be. And there was a time, it wasn't even that long ago, folks, maybe 5-10 years ago, when it wasn't this way. You didn't have to be. Or this is what's the biggest problem is. This would be somewhat okay if people could actually then speak the truth how they see it and give their real opinion or give their honest views on things, which everybody knows you can't. You can't. And they all know if they don't fall in line, these YouTubers, these celebrities, Hell me, that's what I'm trying to do one day. But I'll never sell out, folks. Okay, I ain't never selling out. But if they don't toe the line and say what they think they should say, then they're gonna get canceled. Okay, and it's not a good thing. You don't have to. We need to resist that. All the talk of the resistance needs to be to the cancel culture and forcing people to publicly pick sides. Hey, listen, pick a side. I think it's honorable and courageous to pick a side and ride or die. Like, hey, this is who I'm with. This is what I believe. And then stick to your guns, right? But you don't have to tell me. I don't want to. You don't have to wear it on your shoulder, on your sleeve, for everybody to see. You can make your choice, and then that's it. There was this. People were raised to know that you don't really talk politics and religion. You don't bring that up in most cases because it's rude. It's awkward. So we need to get back to that. We need to start teaching the basics. But we're going to take our second break. When we get back, we're going to have a Huffington Post woke moment. Think you're going to like it. Stick with us. Back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. Jamin's Daily, episode 26. Just want to let y'all know that this podcast is brought to you by Sage Choice Insurance Agency. You can reach us at 361-400-2411. We have this great way for you to get a quote online. You simply go to quotefromjamin.com. You fill out this really cool online form that you fill out. Next level, one of the easiest forms you've ever seen. And it will send us this data, secured, encrypted, and we'll use that to give you a quote, reach out to you, save you money, hopefully. Okay, folks? So again, Sage Choice Insurance Agency. You can call us 361-400-2411. Homeowners, windstorm, business, auto, we do it all. Over 12 years of experience. So, Huffington Post, woke moment. And the cool thing about today's woke moment is we're gonna kill two birds with one stone, because we're gonna have the woke moment, which is always cool, but then we're gonna get to talk about this one of my biggest pet peeves right now, folks, is the term Latinx. And our woke moment is 16 Latinx artists to know and buy from. So these are prints, paintings, and other artwork from modern Latinx artists on Etsy, Social 6, and Saatchi Art. I've heard of Etsy, not the other two. But they're telling us, it says the art world is very white. If you didn't know this, folks, breaking news. The art world, according to HuffPost and our woke moment, this is part of the woke moment, folks. You are being awoken by knowing that the art world is very white. And museums often feature more work from men than women. So art is racist and sexist so far. The lack of diversity has meant that lots of Latino, Latina, and Latinx artists have been shut out of being seen on gallery walls. So, September the 15th marks what is traditionally referred to as Hispanic Heritage Month, a month-long holiday from September 15th to October 15th. This is strange because normally you would think if there's like a Heritage Month, it would be like the month, like the calendar month, and not just 30 days from one month to the next. But I guess I digress. So this Hispanic Heritage Month is supposed to celebrate history, culture, and the contributions of Hispanic Americans to the United States. Some people in the community have started calling it a Latinx Heritage Month. And that's just a straight up lie. We went over this episodes ago, and I read this recently again in the internet, that nobody uses this word. 3% of people refer to themselves Hispanics. You know what they found is that most Hispanics, when they do refer to themselves as anything, they label themselves anything, is their country of origin. So if you're Cuban, you tend to say I'm Cuban, even though they could be born in America. Okay, they could have been born in Florida. They're Americans, right? But when you talk to them, hey, what are you? They'll say I'm Cuban. They're not, they're ethnically Cuban, I guess. They have their ethnicity or their country of origin or something like that. Ancestry is Cuban, but they're Americans, but they say they're Cuban. Me, Mexican American. Here in South Texas, people refer to themselves as Mexican. Oh, he's so-and-so, the Mexican guy. He was very likely born in America. He's an American. Nobody says, oh, the American guy. No, it's like the Mexican guy. That's just how we roll. Okay, folks? Nobody says the Hispanic dude or the Latino dude. And nobody says Latinx. These are the facts. Nobody's referring to Hispanic Heritage Month as Latinx Heritage Month. Okay, but this is all an effort, folks at home, to be more gender neutral and identity inclusive. Let's say that again, because I can feel the wokeness in the room. It's like the Holy Ghost, folks, okay? I can feel the wokeness in the room. It's going to be Latinx Heritage Month because we want gender neutral and identity inclusion. Okay? And if you were confused about the difference between Hispanic, Latino, and Spanish, here's a quick guide. Okay, we don't got time for the guide. Apparently, they feel like they need to explain to you those things. So let's see how many times we can find the word Latinx in this article. One great way to celebrate this important month is to support Latinx businesses, now and in the future. After all, these business owners have been especially hit hard in recent months. When you shop from a small business, you're buying from a real person, someone who put their heart and soul into making something special and making a difference in their life and livelihood. Which is a reason why I wish these people felt like this when it came to COVID. Let's shut things down. Yeah, all these people, they lost their jobs or their businesses suffered, if not just crashed and burned. Okay. It says here, finally, folks, as we're moving on, it says when you buy from a Latino, Latina, and Latinx artist. So hey, listen, this one's at least trying to put them all. You're helping to support their creativity and vision, which is wonderful, obviously, but you're also financially enabling them to continue their artistic practice, invest in new materials, live life as a professional artist, yada, 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 yada. Okay. So let's look into some of these people now, okay? Enough about why. Now let's find somebody. And what is very peculiar, because, I'm thinking these are supposed to be Latinx artists. So let's see how they refer to themselves. So we have the first Latinx we should be buying from is Lenore Studio. That sounds very not Latinx to me. But the shop owner is named Diana Corradine, I guess. If these are, Hispanic people with Hispanic names. It's based in San Francisco, California. She makes hand-woven jewelry. How nice. $52 for some earrings on Etsy. And I'm looking at them now. I don't know. I'm not into fashion, so I don't know what things cost, but that looks like $52 looks like a lot of money for those. The next person here is, oh man, these words are hard to pronounce, folks. Naiji Borges. Naiji Borges is a Brazilian illustrator based in the Bronx. Borges is one of the artists featured in, Society 6 Latinx Heritage Month Showcase. And he says, quote unquote, sticking with our woke moment premise here, is a big part of my work is celebrating women and gender fluid people. I usually like to portray curvy bodies and to emphasize women's strength and sisterhood. Those are all cool things, okay? I can get down with that. I'm looking at the art, the picture that they're using for this guy, and, art, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, folks, but art and beauty, things like this they're in the eye of the beholder. Am I right? What some people find to be art and what they like varies greatly. Finally, we find somebody with, what we would think to be, or the stereotypical Hispanic artist. So now we've come across Jaime Dominguez, an actual person's name. Oh no, the other person had a name too. I'm sorry, but it wasn't necessarily like when you look at Naiji Borges, you don't think Hispanic. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But Jaime Dominguez, yes, okay, and he's got some art here on display, which is cooler than the other one. One of the creators who's in demand at the Saatchi Art is Jaime Dominguez, a minimalist artist from Mexico. And I'm looking at the art that they have displayed here, and I guess, yeah, that would fit minimalist. It's not very, like, what's the word, impressive, but it is art, so good for him. We got a William Santiago. Cool, I guess. A Rocio Navarro. Okay, another. Okay. Let's see if we can find one more. Jennifer Dabura, who's from El Salvador. Enrique Larios. I'm going to try to find some of these art clips, folks, and we're going to put them in there. Okay? But we're going to, call it a wrap on our woke moment, but still kind of talk about my disdain for the Latinx term. And what we're going to try to do, which I think we'll be able to do one day, I feel like we can actually accomplish this, is that I'm going to bring on somebody, an intelligent person who knows about such things in greater detail, like this Latinx. I want to bring somebody in here who can give us a good a rebuttal to why you should use Latinx. Okay? Because Jamin's Daily is all about fairness and openness and free speech. Okay? So we want to bring these people in. We could disagree. That's all good. Maybe I'm always open to changing my mind. I've changed my mind on so many things. I can't even put them in. Like, I don't know how many times I've changed my mind. People do this. If you don't change your mind, it's because you're stubborn. Okay? So you should always be willing to listen to people and have an open mind. Sometimes your mind is made up, but you can still tell me how you feel about things. Maybe you're not going to change my mind, but it's not always about changing their mind. It's about letting them know how you feel, and then you can earn my respect by conducting yourself in a way and detailing and explaining yourself in a way that I find respectable. And even though we disagree, I will think more highly of you. This is how people interacted for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Okay, and now it's all of a sudden it's changing for the worse. But that's going to call it a wrap for Jamin's Daily, episode 26. We've been gone for a while, folks. I don't think I posted an episode on Monday. We're Sunday now, so almost a whole entire week. By the time I post this one up tomorrow, it would have been a whole week. And I think that's the longest we've been since we started. So my apologies to the fans out there who come to expect more frequent episodes. I'll just tell you that this week is gonna be, you're gonna be real happy, because if you want to listen to it every day, or pretty much every day this week, we're gonna have a new episode for you. I want to thank all those who follow us on Podbean. You can go to iTunes. I think now we're on Pandora and iHeartRadio, and finally even on Spotify. So I think there's so many places where you can find Jamin's Daily. Just on Facebook as well. That's probably the easiest way. Go to our Facebook page and you can just scroll down. We post them every time. There on the Facebook page, you click it it plays right in your browser, whether it's on your phone or your desktop. So appreciate you sticking with us. Don't forget to stay with us, because the best is yet to come.